At Nebby's Summer 2014 PBL Institute, Matt Budge, a middle school teacher from Connecticut, described his students' first experience with problem-based learning using a wastewater management problem in Philadelphia.
It's never too early for our students to begin problem solving. By the time I see them all the way from 5th grade up, by the time they're in 5th grade, they've already started to learn the game of school. They've already started to learn that if they just memorize some stuff, regurgitate it back on a piece of paper, they're going to skate by and they'll be fine. But if they're given some kind of problem that requires them to think or requires them to come up with their own solution, that's where they struggle. So my students, they're the same students that when I'm giving them a reading assignment, Mr. Budge, are these questions in order? Order of what? Well, if I read paragraph 1, is that question 1? No. Well, that's how other teachers do it. They get frustrated very easily. They don't like when they don't have the right answer. They don't like to accept when they aren't told if their answer is correct. They're so used to that kind of immediate feedback of just being right or wrong that they lose the actual learning process. But armed with PBL, I was like, all right, we're going to do this. Set them up, and they came in the first day, and I had in my mind that I was going to do a complete open-ended watershed project. Well, it was interesting. The structure of my day, I have 45-minute classes, and I see them 5 days a week. And they walked in the room, and I gave them the whiteboards, handouts, and I explained how the whiteboards work. And immediately, within about 5 minutes, the group came up with a solution. This is it. We got it. This is what they should do. This is probably 15 minutes after starting this whole thing. They have a solution. They're done. Okay, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, what's going on? So I walked over and, okay, you haven't done any research yet. How do you know this? No, Mr. Budge, this is over. All they have to do is dig up the entire roads, put in these huge containment systems, and then that's it, cover and pave the roads back over, and they're all set. Okay, and I'm trying to do the open-ended. I'm trying not to say, no, you can't do that, so, okay. How about something else? Can you think of something else they can do? No, that's it. And look, and then I'm like, okay, why don't you talk with your group and just kind of think about other options that are available. And I walk away, and I come back maybe 3 minutes later. He's already drafted what the containment system will look like. And it's this gigantic thing. His idea was dig up Philadelphia, destroy some buildings, displace some homes, apparently. And there we go, we've solved the water problem. And then the bell rings, and class is over. And they all leave, and I'm sitting here going, oh my, what did I get myself into? I really had a deep down thought, should I just abandon this and go back to different methods of teaching this watershed unit? I'm looking at the time that I have with these students, and it's not very much. Mastery tests are approaching. Like, what do I do? So I'm like, all right, I'll sit with it one more day. Come in the next day. Mr. Budge, do we have to do this thing again? Interesting enough, on day 2, it was my learners that typically struggle. My learners that aren't the ones that typically do extremely well on tests and can talk in front of a bunch of people. It's my farmers and my guys that are hands-on guys that sat down with the whiteboards and started plugging along. Started going through it. Started having conversations with their group members. Day 2 was kind of mixed. Some groups did really well, and I thought they made some progress. Others, not so much. And I was left with, is this the best use of my time and their time? And so I was like, all right, one more day. Day 3 comes in, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they ate their Wheaties in the morning, but they came in, there were smiles. Can we go right to work, Mr. Budge? Like, sure, go right ahead. The computer's right there, go right ahead. Every group came in. And not only did they, I don't know what happened, but after they came in, they were like, well, Mr. Budge, I went online last night, and I was researching, and do you realize that this amount of rain falls in Philadelphia every year? And this is a person, I'm like, how'd you figure that out? Well, Mr. Budge, if you take how many inches of the annual rainfall, and you multiply it by square footage, they're 6th graders. And he's not even he wasn't like a top math student, he was the math class, math. But meanwhile, he's going home on his own time, and he's doing these complex. The numbers are like this big. He's kind of doing percentages, and it was kind of like, wow, Jameson, I didn't know that. That's amazing, and maybe that's some information you can use. And he said, don't worry, I'm already talking to my group about it. You are? Yeah, we Skyped each other last night. Okay? So they all go in every group on that day. Every group. They were invested. They were all huddled over computers. And then not only that, they were talking about different solutions. And it wasn't like, this is my solution, this is it. They would say an idea, and then this group would go, this person would go, oh, that's a great idea. Well, what if we did this? And this person would jump in going, well, what if we did this instead? And before you know it, they've all developed ideas, and each group developed something slightly different or completely different. From rooftop gardens to the rain barrels, and then being able to do math calculations about how much money it would cost, how much water they can divert. In the end, though, they're excited towards it. Was absolutely amazing. There were teamwork involved. It wasn't one person that led the group, and that was it. It was one person's voice that stood out. It was the entire group came together. When they were presenting, it was the entire group that collaborated and presented to the audience. And then afterwards, a couple weeks later, completely unrelated, we went to a field trip. And during that field trip, it was on water. It was on saving the planet or something of that nature. But one of the presenters brought up or asked the question, does anyone know what a watershed is? Every student raised their hand. Every student in the class. I was there, but it wasn't a science field trip. I mean, it was saving the planet. I think it was writing. Every student. And then another question was asked, well, do you know, are humans impact the watershed? Every student raised their hand. I know. And then they would start jumping out, well, did you know that you can actually, prevent some of the pollution? And the presenter's like, okay. They do. Moving on to saving the planet. But I don't know, I found the whole experience, I know the only thing to say is if you've never implemented it before, don't be scared of those first 2 weeks. They are I don't know. I'm just happy I stuck with it to that third day. I was happy I was able to see the light in their eyes and to see that their willingness and their desire just to go in. Mr. Budge, come here. That's the greatest in the world.